Well, yeah,
I just think
now?
Yes, I just think he's too old, bro. That's crazy.
God,
He's
God.
senile.
The thing is, he'd be great for a round. Maybe.
People are underestimating me being able to deal with his power. I'm excited. Like I literally can't wait to look across the ring and see him and give him a fucking death stare.
Jake Paul's brother Logan has asked him to cancel his fight with Mike Tyson as he fears that Jake will get completely humiliated during the fight. Moreover, Roy Jones Jr. has given his take on what awaits us in that Texas ring come midsummer. Talking about the Tyson versus Paul fight in a recent interview, Jones said, "Jake Paul, how well can he take a punch from a pro? He's been a pro for a little while. Yes, Mike Tyson is 57, but you see the power displayed in bursts in the videos." Jones possesses a unique perspective, given his first-hand experience of how the body and mind synchronize as one approaches the threshold of 60, contrasting with Paul, who at 27 likely stands at or near the pinnacle of his physical prowess. Jones said, "Plenty of folks I've talked to foresee Mike Tyson blazing out of the gates, looking to overwhelm the relative neophyte in minute one, then surprised by Paul's chin and ability to hang in those legs and lungs bark at Mike Tyson, reminding him that it's bullshit when people say age is just a number." Jones mentioned that if it gets out of the first round, it becomes interesting, and if it continues to round 4, it becomes very interesting. Jones added, "Mike Tyson is still a formidable puncher. This is fun. I love it. If it gets out of the first round, it gets interesting. By round 4, if it's still going, it will be very interesting." Furthermore, in a past appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, Roy Jones Jr. revealed fascinating details about the enormous challenge involved in facing Mike Tyson.
I can get ready. I'm pretty sure I can get a little bit more ready than he can because he's been inactive a lot longer than I have.
Yeah.
So 6 weeks, I know it's Mike Tyson. He's big as heck and he's still Mike Tyson and he still can punch. But 6 weeks, there's no way he can get prepared.
Yeah, when I read that it was going to be an exhibition, they weren't going to try and knock each other's out, I went, the out of here.
I mean, think about it. Oh, it's an exhibition, but we got 12-ounce gloves. But it's an exhibition. No headgear. Exhibition. Judges. I mean,
it's still Mike Tyson.
And exhibition.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, who knocked Corey Sanders down in the first round of an exhibition back in 2004.
On the flip side, Campbell Hatton has voiced apprehensions regarding Mike Tyson's imminent comeback to the boxing ring. Hatton speculates that Tyson's ability to withstand punches might have diminished during his nearly 2-decade hiatus from the ring. The undefeated up-and-comer shared his insights on the eagerly awaited matchup. Hatton told Mail Sport, "I think it's sad to see. It's not something I'm looking forward to. I think when people see the videos of Tyson training, where he's smashing the pads and the body belt and things like that, he still looks like a monster still." However, Hatton believes that people are seriously underestimating the toll that going through training camps and maintaining punch resistance takes on someone, especially for someone in their late 50s. He added, "But I think people are really underestimating the toll it takes on you. Going through training camps and punching resistance for anyone, never mind somebody in their late 50s. Hatton conveyed that there is no doubt in his mind that if the fight was just about exchanging punches, Tyson would dominate, but he emphasized that it's not that simple. Hatton said, "There's no doubt in my mind if it was about going in there and throwing hands. Tyson's going to blow him away, but it's not as simple as that. When we saw him at the end of his career, in the early 2000s and late 90s, his punch resistance seemed gone then. Over 20 years later, it can't have improved." Furthermore, Hatton lamented the fact that the new audience brought to boxing by YouTube fights may not have experienced Tyson's prime. He suggested they might get a misleading impression if they see him lose to Jake Paul, attributing such a potential defeat primarily to age. Hatton expressed, "I think it's a shame because you've got this new audience who have come to boxing through the YouTube fights that probably haven't watched Tyson. They're going to watch it and there's a good chance Jake Paul beats him, purely because of age, and I think a lot of those young fans probably aren't going to realize just how good Tyson was." As Tyson approaches 58 years old, apprehensions arise among many observers. Sean Strickland, a former middleweight champion, once again expressed his views on the matter, opting for X as his platform. He tweeted, "Jake Paul and Mike Tyson game planning to hide the fact this is pathetic. So we have to make people believe you have a chance. We have to make people believe that you're not 60, and this isn't the most pathetic thing I've ever done." As you can see, Sean Strickland fearlessly voices his views, offering his perspective on the imminent boxing showdown. Similarly, Michael Venom Page recently appeared on The MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani and weighed in on the hyped clash between Tyson and Paul. During his conversation with Ariel Helwani, he unequivocally expressed his disdain for the proposed fight. He said, "Yeah, I don't like it, and nothing against Jake Paul. I just don't. The potential picture that Mike Tyson could be lying on the floor, and Jake Paul could be standing above him. I hate it." Helwani then asked him the reason for his disagreement, to which he replied that it is just the legacy. It will be interesting to see whether Tyson can live up to his expectations and knock Jake Paul out.
Mike Tyson should be knocked out by Jake Paul.
Not at all.
Why not?
It's it's just Mike Tyson's legacy to all come down to, not that completely takes it away, but for this next generation to remember Mike Tyson in that picture, I would hate.
UFC sensation Colby Covington boldly echoes sentiments shared by numerous others regarding Tyson's bout with Paul. Colby said on the SOS cast while discussing the fight, "I don't like it at all. Mike still looks like a superhuman for 58, but he's still 58 years old, and he shouldn't be fighting anymore." He expressed his hope that Mike Tyson would remain injury-free and not get hurt, but he admitted that he does not like the fight, pointing out Jake Paul's much younger age, being in his mid-20s. Colby added, "I don't think it's safe. I think it's dangerous. At that age, your heart might explode. If he gets hit in the head, he might have a brain bleed. I hope that Mike Tyson makes it through injury-free and doesn't get hurt. But I don't like fighting." Jake Paul is in his mid-20s. Furthermore, he predicted a grim outcome, suggesting that Jake is likely to knock Tyson out within the first 2 minutes. He also mentioned the possibility that if Tyson does not get knocked out quickly, it could be because Jake is intentionally prolonging the fight to make the mismatched event appear more competitive. He expressed, "I think it's going to end bad. Jake is probably going to knock him out inside the first 2 minutes. And if he doesn't, it'll be because he'll be carrying him and trying to make the freak show look like a competitive fight." Reflecting on Mike's last fight against Roy Jones Jr., he observed that Mike appeared slow and old, a sentiment he believes was widely recognized. Colby added, "I hate the fight. I think it takes away from Mike's legacy when a guy like this comes in and beats him, a YouTuber beating the baddest man on the planet. We saw his last fight against Roy Jones Jr. He looked slow. He looked old. Everybody saw that. He shouldn't be getting in that ring anymore." George Foreman was queried about his perspective on the upcoming July 20th exhibition match between Tyson and Paul. When asked if Mike Tyson has what it takes to knock out young Jake, the 75-year-old living legend George Foreman answered, "Jake Paul is no pushover, and he is not afraid of any of these guys. Time is on his side. So happy for Mike Tyson. He needed this excitement in his life. Everyone is talking about it. Answer to your question, no." Despite Jake Paul's preparations for his bout with Mike Tyson, his brother Logan Paul remains conspicuously silent, offering no endorsement or support for the scheduled event on July 20th. One might anticipate Logan Paul to extend support to his brother, yet the truth reveals his dissent toward the fight as well. Logan, in an attempt to shift focus onto himself, disclosed that he had declined a bout with Mike Tyson, citing Tyson's age as a deterrent.
For both Mike and Jake, the bag. Like, at what point you can't, I don't know if you could say no. I said no to fighting Mike Tyson.
I'd say no.
I was offered it.
You actually offered?
Yeah, I was offered it, but not on Netflix and not for a big ass bag. It was just like a, oh, this could be a real fight.
He further asserted that Netflix hadn't approached him when he turned down the offer, indicating his reluctance to engage in such endeavors. If circumstances had aligned differently, Logan Paul would have surely jumped at the opportunity to step into the ring with Iron Mike. However, at that time, the YouTuber's enthusiasm for the match was not quite as fervent.
Because I've been asked before, I'm sure you have too, do you think you could beat Mike Tyson? And my answer was and will be yes.
Feel free to voice your critiques of Jake Paul's choice of opponents in the boxing ring. Many argue that he should be facing tougher challenges to validate his boasts. However, it's crucial to remember that Jake Paul is relatively new to the boxing scene. Prior to this, he had no background in combat sports on such a grand scale. So, while expectations may be high, it's important to recognize his journey as that of an amateur boxer navigating uncharted territory.
I want to see how hard he hits, Mike. I really want to see, bro. Let's see all the legends, the myths, because you're Iron Mike Tyson, but I have an iron chin. People know that. Like, I take shots, so.
While Logan Paul has made strides in combat sports through his WWE endeavors, it's his younger brother Jake Paul who's truly made waves with his boxing ventures, surpassing Logan's achievements significantly. Injecting an extra dash of intrigue into the pre-game tension, Jake dismissed his brother's assertions and probed Logan's motives for making such a declaration.
My brother and I's relationship sometimes has to be like aired out, but it seems as if the court of public opinion is the only thing that like steers him in the right direction. It is weird to lie, to blatantly just lie. We signed a deal with Netflix and our goal was to go get another fighter to fight me.
During his podcast, the problem child accused Logan of fabricating stories to steal the spotlight. While Jake appeared dismayed, he also displayed a lack of astonishment at his brother's allegations. This is what he said about Logan Paul's claims. "It is not true. We are the ones who brought the deal to Mike Tyson, so he was never in the market to offer fights for others to turn down. So yes, it's weird to go online and lie." Jake Paul stated that his team had negotiated a deal with Netflix and subsequently approached other fighters to involve them. After months of discussion, confusion, they managed to secure a fight with Tyson. Paul clarified that it was not Tyson who was proposing deals to others. Rather, his own team was the one extending offers. He expressed confusion and frustration over why his own brother was portraying him as Tyson's second option, labeling such claims as entirely false.
I am always having to defend myself and be undermined and be like little broed, and then I have to just not allow it to happen. But I'm just like taking shots, and then I have to like explain because I get thrown into it.
Meanwhile, in March of 2022, during an episode of the Journey podcast, Jake Paul playfully discussed his aspirations with friends, humorously mentioning his desire to indulge in eating Krispy Kreme donuts, while also contemplating the idea of stepping up to the heavyweight division to face off against Mike Tyson. Adding to the banter, he even floated the notion of organizing a lucrative new school versus old school event, valued at a staggering $300 million. Paul said, "It all started 4 years ago when I met Mike Tyson at his ranch. It was going great. I was meeting my childhood hero for the first time." In his most recent YouTube upload, Jake Paul shared a memorable encounter with his childhood idol, Mike Tyson. According to the footage Paul presented, the problem child was thrilled to delve into Tyson's possessions, including the gloves worn by Kid Dynamite in his iconic bouts. Yet, when Tyson unexpectedly entered the room, the excitement turned to disappointment for Jake Paul. In an unforeseen twist, Tyson's mistaking of the problem child for his older brother, Logan Paul, left Jake feeling deflated. He added, "But imagine meeting your childhood hero for the first time and they call you your brother's name. We don't even fucking look alike. And ever since that day, Mike, I've wanted to knock you the fuck out." On the other hand, Bernard Hopkins, the renowned boxing icon, has expressed skepticism regarding the impending boxing spectacle featuring Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. According to Bernard Hopkins, this bout doesn't quite live up to the excitement he anticipates witnessing. He said, "I look at Mike, I look at him different in a way of my era, like people looked at Ali. I looked at Ali different too. Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Robinson. I don't like it. I think it's becoming more of a sideshow with some sweat and maybe some blood. If we're lucky, I won't watch it. I could watch two turtles race and be more excited." Hopkins further elaborated, explaining his viewpoint stems from his respect for Mike Tyson, having not only shared the ring with him, but also a bit of the era. Hopkins added, "It's because of how I look at Mike Tyson. I've shared not only the ring with Mike Tyson a few times, but the era, a little tip of the era. I just think it degrades him. You're getting 100 million, 200 million. Please." Okay, in the annals of boxing lore, the clash between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao in 2015 etched its name as the most watched spectacle in pugilistic history. However, renowned comedian Andrew Schultz speculates that the showdown between Paul and Tyson could potentially surpass all preceding pinnacles, marking it as a watershed moment in the sport's chronicles. Andrew Schultz is convinced that this showdown could mark the beginning of a new era in fight streaming, potentially shaping the future of the sport. In addition, Schultz commended Jake Paul for bouncing back off the criticism surrounding his last fight and announcing the enthralling bout. Schultz stated, "He just finds a way. I mean, this fight's going to be massive. It's Dallas Cowboys Stadium. It's going to be the most attended fight." Moreover, Schultz commended Jake Paul for bouncing back off the criticism surrounding his last fight and announcing the enthralling bout. With over 50,000 individuals already registering for early ticket access through the exclusive broadcaster, Netflix, the excitement surrounding the bout is palpable. The most valuable promotions turned to their Instagram stories and wrote, "Over 50,000 have signed up for early access to Paul Tyson tickets. Don't miss out." Even Jake Paul individually shared this news on his Instagram story, where he wrote, "Me and Mike are as big as the..." This isn't just any ordinary boxing affair. It's a sporting spectacle that could etch its name into the annals of boxing history. The extent to which it will shatter records remains to be witnessed.
That man is a beast, but I'm not taking him lightly, and July 20th, I hope to become the victor and to create history and knock out the legendary Iron Mike Tyson.
Now, we know that Mike Tyson faced off against a formidable lineup of heavyweight champions throughout his illustrious career, yet he unexpectedly singled out Jose Ribalta as his most formidable adversary in the ring. The year Tyson clinched his inaugural heavyweight world championship at a mere 20 years old also saw him square off against Jose Ribalta, followed by a showdown with the formidable Cuban boxer, who emerged as his most formidable adversary yet. Talking about it, he said, "I hit Jose Ribalta with everything, and he took everything and kept coming back for more. anymore. Jose Ribalta stood toe-to-toe with me. He was very strong in the clinches. And now, Tyson has plunged headfirst into his preparations for the impending showdown with Paul, potentially set amidst a roaring crowd of 80,000 within Arlington's AT&T Stadium. Rafael Cordero, Tyson's seasoned coach, has swiftly brushed aside any doubts surrounding the 57-year-old's fitness, affirming that the legendary boxer is imbued with an unwavering determination akin to his prime. Cordero said on the MMA Hour, "I believe we don't have to be concerned about it. We're talking about a two-time world champion. The guy didn't have 20 fights in 2 years. He knows how to fight. He's fought against the best guys in the world. When he steps inside the ring, he knows what to do. It's not something new for Mike, and this fight is no different." Cordero remarked that Mike Tyson dedicates himself to intense daily training with the aim of knocking out Jake from the start to the finish, highlighting that this aggressive approach is Tyson's natural style, not something that was taught to him. He added, "He works hard every single day to go in there and try to knock Jake out from the beginning to the end. This is his style. Nobody has taught Mike Tyson how to fight. He's going to prove that in July. You can see fire in his eyes when he trains, and he will never give less than that. I truly believe it is going to be a great show." Meanwhile, Tyson recently participated in a fan gathering prior to the captivating face-off. He was spotted signing his posters and Tyson Pro boxing gloves in the most recent ES News video. Iron Mike's rigorous training regimen was thus shown in 2 movies that were shown sequentially in the first half of the film. The video quickly gained popularity, which is nothing new for the baddest man on the planet, who frequently participates in such events to raise awareness of the various projects he has funded over the years. The video was titled "Mike Tyson Working Hard for Jake Paul and Spending Time with Fans." This launch served as a great way for Tyson to connect with his fans, potentially boosting support for his upcoming fight against the YouTuber turned boxer. Capitalizing on this momentum, Tyson was also signing gloves for fans while grooving to No Scrubs by TLC. Following a significant change in the chemistry between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, the boxing community is in disarray. These two, who were previously observed joking together, recently met for the sake of promoting their battle on July 20th and had a chilly exchange. Everyone was thrilled after watching their huge announcement video, but during the 7-hour meeting, a new side surfaced. The warm welcomes had vanished, and a nervous stillness had taken their place. Paul acknowledged that he felt uneasy being across from the boxing icon. On the BS with Jake Paul podcast, his friend Brandon Amato remarked, "What was interesting too was about the dynamic between you guys during that whole shoot. In the past, you and Mike have been friendly, but you weren't friendly the whole time." Once more, the iconic striking maestro Rafael Cordero steps into the forefront as Tyson's chief trainer for the impending showdown against Paul. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.